So, getting ready for Wisconsin. This is the bow I dropped 20 feet out of the stand last year. And this thing is awesome. It's the RX-8. It's taken a beating, has killed some whitetail, and hopefully going to do some repeat killing whitetail. So we're going to get some new strings on here and a new rest. And I'm actually shooting the HLRs out of this year with a different componentry up front. So we're going to do that today and get me ready for a couple weeks from now.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Easy stuff, man.
Yeah. So some gas bowstrings. I think it's the high octane.
High octanes, yeah.
Yeah, and
that
these flow orange.
These have been awesome this year. You know, I've been telling guys, like, look, I've been putting strings on bows for 20 years, and Gas has got something figured out, man. They got the secret sauce going on, so I think you'll be very happy with these. Hold the tune exceptionally well. Good quality product. So
yeah, well, I've been shooting them on the Ultra, which I'll still shoot the RX-9 Ultra for mule deer.
yeah,
But I want something smaller, more compact up in the stand. And the RX-8 that I've got here is that 30-inch axle to axle. So does great in the stand, especially because I'm not going to be shooting past 30 yards at the most. So it'll do great. And like I said, it's tested. There's nothing wrong with it. So
yeah, that's one thing you got to love about a Hoyt product, man. You can literally drop them out of a tree stand, pick it up, and I mean, they are still the toughest bow in the industry. Guys come in all the time like, what's the toughest bow? Buy a Hoyt. Like, it's not like other bows aren't durable, but man, just Hoyt sets a standard and so stinking high on those. So
yeah, they definitely take pride in that for sure. So cool. Let's get string swapped and rest. We're going to swap from this QAD, which is awesome. It's a great rest. I'm going to put the Prophecy on it because, so with the QAD, it's in line here, super close to the bow, or to the center alignment here. That one is just a little bit, so the Prophecy is just a little bit off to the side. And so, but I'm going to be taking the quiver off when I'm up in the stand anyway. So I don't care about the quiver being super close to the center of the riser anyway. Yeah. So yeah.
Cool.
Let's get swapped
throw it in
out,
the press.
Yeah.
We'll have this done in no time. Perfect. So one thing I just wanted to point out, since we're filming this, showing this to your viewers, one of the things that I look for in a bowstring is how stable is it, right? One way you can kind of tell, and I've seen this happen with low quality bowstrings, is see how your peep wanted to rotate this direction, your loop, everything on your string shifted and rotated, right? But there's no tension on it, we're off. As soon as I put tension back on, see how everything wants to straighten back out? So what's happening with that is there's an uneven twist rate from the strands to underneath the serving that's causing that. So a really good string, if you guys got a really good string, in my opinion, is if you have your peep perfectly straight and you take tension off and the string itself just kind of goes straight, it doesn't have any rotation, that means that the twist rate from where your strands are open here to underneath all the serving is consistent. And I do think that helps a lot with peep rotation. So for guys that are always constantly fighting the peep sight rotation, right? Like that's one of the biggest things that guys fight is there's peeps are always twisted. They're always coming in. We're fixing it for them. Take a look at that for guys that are working on the boat at home. If you're like, man, my peep needs to start here, but it finishes straight. That's good. You can still see through it, but that's telling you that there's somewhere that's unbalanced within the bowstring there. So I don't know why, just when I put your bow in the press, that's the first thing that caught my eye. I press it and I see that rotation happen. I don't usually like that on mine. If I see it stay straight, I know that everything's balanced and built good, where the serving to the string, no problems there.
Sweet.
That's what a black belt in archery will get you.
Black belt bow tech.
Yeah. Oh, baby. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Looking good.
Okay.
Nothing's blown up yet. All right. Cables are on. String track's good. Yeah, it's amazing on how much your old strings had stretched. So when I press it, take the old ones off while I go to put new ones on, I had to press it quite a bit more. So that kind of shows you of how much it's moved there, but you'll need that.
Yeah. I think I've got the original strings actually.
Really?
Still. Yeah, which is something that, you know, again, anytime we've swapped strings out, we talk about it. But keep your original strings so you've got a backup set so you don't have to wait the 2 weeks or whatever to order.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, some guys wait too long to replace their strings, so their old ones are shots. Like at that point, throw them away. But, you know, guys are like, man, I got a little bit of life in them. Like those, if you were in an absolute emergency pinch,
Yeah,
those work. Factory strings would work. At least it's better than, you know, when that happens that time of year, every string company in the world is backed out. Like good luck actually getting a set of strings. So, okay, so, taking this rest off, and then we'll put on some Prophecy, and then we'll do some measurements on here. So, one, we kind of, you know, with new strings and cables, we want to make sure that, you know, axle to axle and brace has got to be close. It doesn't need to be perfect. Poundage, obviously a big one, right? And then cam sync. So even though these companies are good at building these strings and cables, a lot of times you go to check cam sync and it's off. So we'll swap the rest, and then we'll check some specs on the bow for you.
Sure.
So where are you heading with this thing? What hunts?
I'm going to Wisconsin. I'm still going to hunt with the Ultra, RX-9 Ultra here out west. I like that. I think that 33 inch, 32, 33 is like ideal for the Western guy.
Yeah.
Unless you're some monster that's got a 30 plus inch draw. I absolutely love that RX-9 Ultra. But up in a tree stand, you know, with Wisconsin, and then later this year, if I'm still using this bow, it'll be for whitetail in Texas.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and this one's only 70 pounds, guys. I'm not gonna flex my ego and say, oh no, I'm only shooting 70 pounds. It's nice to have a 70-pound bow in the tree stand.
Yeah.
I can shoot an 80-pound bow just fine, but it's, you know, when you've got all your layers on, everything else, like the last thing you want to worry about is what angle you're at. And because I've been shooting 80 pounds all year, this 70-pounder feels like it's nothing,
easy,
you know?
right?
So I had a video from last year where I was literally leaned back, way back in my saddle like this and drew like that, you know, trying to get after this doe.
I was going to say, are you going after bucks or does? You've been a doe slayer the last couple of years.
Right?
So.
And I said that about mule deer too this year. Man, if I don't see anything that gets me excited by week 2, I'm just going to take a doe.
Really?
Yeah.
One of my favorite things to watch, and I geek out on this, is the radio color data from deer. And watching their movements, their migration, where they I don't know why I think that's so intriguing to me, but it is cool to see that you know, a lot of states have really stepped up, putting a lot more money and effort into figuring out these.
This piece goes, because this is actually so
you got 2 blocks here.
Yeah. So that one, because some bows have 2.
Yeah.
So you can actually get it really nice and square, but this is actually a excuse me, this is a QD mount. So you can pop this off if you want to. So that screws in there.
This is your standard mount. So this standard one allows you to have a little bit of slide. So it comes with 2 different mounts on here then is what you're saying.
So this mount right here has 2 options. So sometimes you get 2, are they called 2 burger holes?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So that way you can put a screw in here and here. That's super secure. Some bows offer that. On the Hoyt, there's only 1. So
yeah. Now we got that mount plate. I took your set screw, locked it in pretty tight, and then torqued it with that quarter. So this plate should be really, really secure to the riser now. And then this here, now with the Hoyt's a little bit harder because you got the tech bar, right? But this is cool for guys that want to do a thing called like torque tuning. You can position this rest in different positions, which I think this is pretty dang cool, especially like there's been some hunts that I go on where I'm traveling. The fact that I could literally take this off my bow, get to where I want and put it back on, or say you want to run 2 different arrow diameters out of this bow. You want to run like a 4 mil or a 5 mil. I mean, not cheap, but you could technically own a second rest. And once you get it mounted and leveled and tuned, then this mount plate staying the same. Yep. You're interchanging your rest back and forth. So really cool concept there from these guys. But because of the Hoyt tech bar, it doesn't give you a whole lot of wiggle room for a lot of that torque tuning ability that it should have. So
and it's got numbers over here on the side too. So if you do disconnect it, you can keep tabs.
Take a picture before you take it off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, we're pretty close. Just a tick outside, but still good enough, about 7/8, so.
It's supposed to be 70 pounds. Let's see what we got.
We're really close there, which is good. Maybe just a skosh out on top. 70.5, perfect. Probably just a half a twist is all we need on that bottom cable. So I love when I put strings on bows and everything goes back to spec.
Yeah.
Not a lot of twisting.
So I guess what are you seeing there? What was going fast or slow? It was touching quicker on the bottom.
So just because I've done this for forever, seems like, I'm pulling it down on that scale and looking at what you call your cam sync. So there's a big misconception. I hear guys reference this wrong all the time. If a bow is just sitting here like this is your timing position, right? So I can change timing by either, if I want to, you know, pull these cables tight, like say we want to micro adjust your draw length by 1/8 or 1/4 at a time, right? Which the nice thing about the Hoyts, they already give that to you. But in this position, changing where the cams sit, this is just timing. What people get confused all the time, what I just looked at, is cam synchronization. So synchronization is now making sure both cams are rolling together. So when people say, oh, my cams are out of time, well, most cams, they're out of sync. Most of the time, back in the day, a lot of bows did have a cam timing mark, which was just a good point of reference. It didn't have to be there, it was just a point of reference. But a lot of guys will come in and say, hey, my cam timing's out. What they're really talking about is cam synchronization to make sure the cam's rolling together. So there's a couple different ways to do it. What I just did, grabbed it, pulled it down on the scale. One, I made sure it hit poundage. Two, when I was looking at your top cam, there's a post top and bottom. They roll around and they contact your control cables. The top post was leaving slightly faster than this one was. So your cam synchronization was out just ever so slightly, right? Most guys are doing this, they're putting in what they call it the draw board, right? So they put it in the draw board, they draw the bow back. The advantage with that is now you can really ultra fine tune that. But usually for me, if I'm looking at it on that scale, I don't get too particular about the draw board itself. For how minimal that was out, when you have a good bow system like Hoyt, I've had bows that if they come out of synchronization just the slightest amount, man, it really changes my point of impact downrange. There's some bows that are just not good at that. But one thing for me that I found with these new Hoyts, especially this binary cam system, they hold tune really well. Even if I've had bows, I got back from Alaska a couple years ago, my cam sync was out pretty significantly. But I went out and shot broadheads to 50 yards and they still hit right where I needed them to. So sync can be important on certain cam systems. Obviously we want it to be as close as possible, but if it comes out just slightly, I think guys overemphasize that. It's not that big of a deal depending on the bow and the type of cam system you're running there. But so we threw a half a twist in here. We know we're hitting poundage.
We're not going to twist it up to 80.
That's a lot of twisting, but I can do. I might have to tie some knots in here, but I'll get it there. So for guys, like to your point, guys want to preload their bow, right? They're going to get more poundage. But when you're doing that, you're also increasing draw length at the same time. So if you want your poundage to go up, but your draw length not to get longer, you have to twist all three to preload the limbs down. If I just twist your cables, you're obviously going to change the timing position of the cam. It's actually going to make your draw length, true draw length of the bow get longer. And so guys are like, yeah, I went up, from 70 to 74 pounds. Well, you preloaded the limbs, which is fine, but you actually technically made the bow's draw length get longer by doing that. So yeah, there's a little bit of wiggle room on those. Like, I don't like twisting a whole lot on my strings and cables. Like, again, when we first took your original set off, the twist rate from the strand to under the serving is very critical. If you start twisting a lot, you'll see these parts of the strands get really tight. You can see the fibers wind together super, super tight. What happens is as you start shooting that stretch rate or that twist rate here has to work itself all the way through, and that's where your strings and cables stretch more, and then you got to retune and resight in everything more often. So if the twist rate from where there's no serving to under the serving is the same, I think that creates a lot more stability in the bowstring itself, and you don't come out as tune as much, and you don't fight peep rotation as often.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Sweet.
Cool. Looks good. You want this little micro adjust dampener in here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Easy enough.
It's nice because, again, that was a big thing for me with the cable-driven rests, is I was worried about if in the field something happened, how do I fix it? So with AE, and you can use that on, you know, if you've got a QAD rest or any other essentially cable-driven rest, it's this little wedge, QD wedge is what it's called on AE's website. I think it's like, I don't know. Do you guys sell them here?
We don't know. It's a really cool concept for sure. Like, I wouldn't mind that, but you know, for guys that, to your point, they're like, hey, I need to be able to have a quick solution in the field. Great. My solution, I have a backup bow. So
yeah, exactly. It's a good point. Speaking of backup bow, that AX2, we're going to be giving that away in December.
yeah.
That's why I'm not using it, because I don't want to beat the crap out of it like I do these bows.
You know, your last one, you know, you drug through the mud and tried to give it away. So yeah. Didn't you get your truck unstuck with that too? Didn't you
That was this one.
Oh, that was the
you
one.
still see, look, there's some whitetail blood. That was my first whitetail buck right there. I'm not wiping that blood away.
So does this bow have like sentimental value to you then?
I mean, I still have flashbacks of dropping it out of the tree stand, if that's what you mean. PTSD or sentimental value, who knows?
Yeah. It's just interesting. Like for me, you know, I've owned a lot of bows through the years, but there's just a couple that just they stand out to me, right? Like my 09 Alpha Max, like I don't know what it was, but that bow is just, it stands out to me. Or I still have it, my 2015 Carbon Spider 34, my prime rival. Like those are, out of all the bows I own, so I do get to the point where I'm like, I tell guys all the time, like, if I get a bow, I like it, shoot it well, but I don't mind sending most of them down the road, right?
Yeah.
But there's just a couple that I'm like, I just can't get rid of those. So.
Yep. I hear it. Yeah, this one, I mean, it's essentially my backup bow.
Yeah.
And my whitetail bow, until I find another short bow that I like. But
is your AX2 the short one?
it's a 32 inch.
Oh, the longer one then.
Yeah.
I will say
that's an awesome bow.
I was just going to say that, like, you know, I had the Alpha X last year, 33, great bow, shot it well, really, really enjoyed it. I think last year's bows from Hoyt were just solid, but it doesn't look like a whole lot on the outside, but that new generation Hoyt bow, the RX-9, the AX2 series, they just shot better.
It's pretty sweet.
Yep.
Yeah.
They just shot and
I
tuned
loved
better.
it. I actually had it set up for tack, and then afterwards I was like, I don't want to beat this bow up because we're planning on giving it away. So been shooting the RX-9 Ultra just all year.
Yeah.
That one's pretty beat up too, but
mine is too.
Yeah.
But that 9 shot so stinking good. It's one of those bows that in the back of my head, I'm like, it might go in that keeper pile. Like it was just that good of a bow, you know?
Yeah.
So
I've never shot an Ultra just because it was usually slower for the 28 inch draw that I am. And it just didn't make sense, but then they got that 33 inch axle to axle. It felt great. Didn't feel too wide of a string angle. And the speed was there. So.
Yeah. Kudos to Hoyt, man. I think they crushed on that Ultra this year.
Yeah.
Like for what guys out west want for spec wise, like, man, that thing just checked almost every box, you know? So, yeah. Well, it is, you know, it's a great time to be an archer because I'll tell you, with all the new 2026 stuff coming out already, I've already got to play around with a couple of the 2026 products, and gosh dang, man.
Because there's really not much you can do with bows at this point. I mean, Matthews and Hoyt have both trimmed out about as much as you can out of aluminum.
Yeah.
You know, carbon, to the point where the aluminums are lighter than the carbon bows.
Yeah, it's interesting, you know, talking to all these different manufacturers and stuff, but, you know, Matthews, just to give your audience a little bit of a teaser, talked to the Matthews reps today. Matthews bows for 26 are going to be lighter and faster than this year's bow. So for how lightweight their aluminum was already, you're like, man, they're getting lighter again. So that'll be exciting to kind of see what they have coming out. Yeah, it's fun to start. You know, I've kind of seen the prime lineup so far this year. Looks really solid. Hoyt's been kind of tight-lipped on me this year. They usually give me a little bit more info, but I'm sure they're gonna hit another home run with it. So, oh yeah. You know what I keep telling my customers, like, it is okay to own more than one bow. Like, you know, to your point, like, hey, I got this bow. You know, I get guys ask me all the time, well, what size axle should I be going with? And I go, well, what are you doing with it? Like, what's your plan? So, you know, and I'm starting to see a little bit of a trend out west too, that, you know, the longer bows still kind of dominate, but every year I'm watching these shorter bows for Western hunters. They're creeping up on that a little bit more.
Well, and a lot of people too, like especially if you're in the shorter draw length, they're pretty stable, these short bows, and they do a good job, and they're not as much to pack around in the mountain. You know, and that's something that for a lot of people that interests them.
Yeah, size, and the biggest thing too that my draw length at 30 inches, I used to really struggle shooting these shorter bows. It was, man, I tried for years, and I'd get to 60 and feel good. Then after 60, I could never really get it to shoot how I wanted. But two things have really changed. One, the riser lengths have gotten longer than they've ever been, right? But two, it's the string angle at full draw. So like a lot of companies, especially Hoyt, other companies have caught on to this. It's how they designed the cam to do two things. One, the cam's gotten faster and more efficient because of this design. But the other big advantage is it's increased the string angle significantly. So, you know, years ago, guys are like, man, I tried a short bow. I didn't like it. I've always stuck with the longer, taller axles. If you were to put a lot of these bows on the draw board and measure the effective string angle, even though it's a 30-inch bow, probably has a string angle of what a 32-inch bow used to be.
The VLR?
No.
The other one that's got like no outshirt.
Is it a voodoo, or what do they call it?
Rival.
I want to call it a voodoo. It just sounds cooler. But it is nice on those where you're still getting a pretty small diameter arrow, but not having to deal with the outserts, because I love shooting back targets, and I do hate with most of my back targets. So anything that's a half out is a little bit harder to pull. Perfect. So maybe a tick knock high, but mainly left, right? So based off where we measured your center shot, because we were slightly outside 13/16, I'm going to move this launcher in towards the riser just a hair.
The problem is, I don't have stabilizers.
I can see you look shaky on target for sure. Hey, there we go.
That's good.
Okay.
I will take it.
Still your bow here.
Take it and go kill
Grab me. No, right now I know both of us are eating tag soup from our elk hunts here in Utah and Idaho.
I have to talk about that.
But if you come back without a whitetail, I'm really going to have to question you as far as the bow hunter.
Come in the shop,
from this, if you don't come back with a whitetail from this point forward, only gun content for you.
Okay.
I mean, there's enough whitetails there. You'll probably hit one in the car driving in.
You know, I'm gonna just go straight predator hunting. I'm just coyote hunting from now on.
You know, if you tell yourself that I'm only going to hunt coyotes, all the deer will show up.
Okay, perfect. Hey guys, I don't know what I screwed up, but apparently I lost the last just little chunk of footage there from the bow build. But essentially, the RX-8 dialed in with the gas high octane bowstrings. We've got strings and cables set from them. We've got the dialed proof sight on there. We've got the HLRs from Victory, lighted nocks from Halo. We've got the Ethics archery on the front of the HLRs. And we have the AE Prophecy rest. I really like that rest, especially if you're sitting in a stand or up in a tree somewhere. Long story short, I highly recommend going out to Wilde Arrow. If you guys have stuck around to this point, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. definitely go check out Wilde Arrow. We're getting into bow launch season. You definitely want to go shoot your bows at a reputable shop. If you're local, if you're close here to Wilde Arrow, definitely go check them out. They'll get you set up. They'll get you taken care of in the best time frame possible. And normally, after the new bows launch, you'll get a better deal on previous year models if that's something you're interested in as well. So highly recommend going and checking out Wilde Arrow. I don't have anyone else touch my bows, not even myself, for the big adjustments and getting things tuned in, because they're just phenomenal. So thank you so much to Jeremiah over there at Wilde Arrow, one of the owners of the bow shop. He does phenomenal work. So do a lot of the bow techs there. All of them are great people. So again, can't recommend them enough. Now I'm going to get into, I owe you guys a lot of stories here, because we've already gone through multiple seasons by the time this comes out. And I've got a lot on footage and some of it not on footage. So we'll do some talking head mixed with actual footage. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Really stoked about this. It's not the most brand new shiny bow, whatever, but I love that RX-8 at 70 pounds with that setup. It's just awesome for whitetail. So super stoked to share with you how Wisconsin went. Also did a recap podcast with some of the guys from camp, so definitely go check that out. And last but not least, guys, Barbell Apparel has an amazing sale going on right now for Black Friday. Highly recommend checking them out for their jeans, their dress wear, date night apparel, things like that. Highly, highly recommend Barbell Apparel. If you have any kind of muscular structure whatsoever, you enjoy working out, you want to have those jeans or pants, suit. I don't know if they make suits. Maybe I'm speaking out of my tail end there. But anyway, go check them out, guys. They make some of the best apparel out there. Use code RedBeard. Save some money up front on your first order there. You're supporting the channel. You're supporting partners of the show. And also, when you go into Wilde Arrow, tell them RedBeard sent you. Use code RedBeard over there. You'll save some money. And they're going to have the website up soon enough, guys. Highly recommend checking out their website when it is up. I will leave the link down below so that you can check that out and use code RedBeard to save some money on some apparel and get in with the Wilde Arrow family. So with all that being said, guys, have a fantastic day. Subscribe to the channel. Get entered in on the Leupold Spotting Scope giveaway. Costs nothing. The link is down below for you to check out. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic day. And like I always say, guys, get out, live your life, and love it.